YouTube? We are back with some more match play commentary for y'all. I am joined by the Brother Bear, the Highwayman. Some might call him the Kaiju King, TJ.
Not feeling very Kaiju King today.
Oh, no.
What if you got isekai'd somewhere, what do you think you'd do?
Oh, I was not prepared for this question.
Like if you were like, oh, I was transported to another world and became a shoebox. Like, would that be your story, or do you think you'd have something cooler?
You know, on that vein, I wouldn't mind being like the chair from Suzume.
Okay. I haven't actually seen Suzume yet. Everyone went on the weekend that I could, no, that wasn't the case. I don't remember. I didn't go with everybody. I missed it. But
that's fine. What about you? What's your isekai story?
I realized opening with shoebox was probably shouldn't have done that. I don't know. I don't have one. I didn't get that far in the thought process.
I didn't get that. Well,
a skipping stone.
For you viewers out there, drop what your isekai would be down in the comment section below. But today we have a special cam match for you. I wouldn't say special. I'm saying special. I guess some hype match. But
it's two of our favorite decks.
we have a cam match here for you folks today. We are waiting to get back on our regular schedule with locals. Life has just been pretty crazy, pretty busy, so we haven't had a lot of recordings on our usual Sundays. So we're just trying to fill in the gaps with some cam matches for you folks. So we should be back on the regular schedule soon enough. But for now, enjoy me and TJ messing around on the cam. Today we've got myself on the left, going back to the basics, because I am still soul searching, and we're going back to Mirage for now. It's like comfort food for me. We got TJ going back to Dragon Linkz. Should be an interesting matchup. I mean, Mirage is in a spot, that's for sure. And Dragon Linkz, I mean, with the new Hina, it's definitely going to be able to do a little bit more things, right? I think we've seen a lot more people use Dragon Linkz in Galaxy just because the engine's slightly more efficient, if you want to call it that. But yeah, what were you about to say?
The new Hina's good. I forgot that she's only on your turn, so she's kind of rough when it comes to actually saving you.
Sure.
It would be nice if you could use her during opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Or all turns. So if your body got cleared, you could digivolve and do things still. But it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're interested in our deck list or just want to bounce ideas off of each other or just interact and chat with us, do feel free to hit us up on our socials, which are linked down in the video description below. And yeah, we would love to see you there. But without further ado, let's hop right into the round.
Yes, sir. So how's Mirage? Honestly, Mirage.
I needed that.
I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna tell you this. What? I'm not gonna spoil anything.
I needed to play. Because as you know, right? I've just been trying to find something that I've enjoyed. V Armors has been sort of my fallback. Shine 2 has been a fallback, but I miss my dog, man.
It felt so good. I'm gonna tell you right now.
So good playing it again.
Without giving anything away, it felt like Mirage still. It still felt very
well.
rough.
I think the big thing
to play into.
The big thing is that it has tamer interaction with the BT-21 Mirage, which I mean, Dragon Linkz unfortunately is a deck that really relies on it. But even in today's meta, right? We've seen a lot of decks very rely a lot on tamer support, like Hunters and even Royal Knights to a degree, Gallant for sure. So the BT-13 Mirage is not BT-11 by any means, but it's still decent. But as we've been yapping, we both have been trying to just set up. I have a Galga with a Thomas in training, which is sort of like a classic Mirage, first couple turns setup. And you're using your boost to kind of climb up a line.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get something going. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any Hinas, but I decided just to try and lock you out for a turn and go into a Volcanitramon here. Yeah. The one thing about the new level 6 is it's so nice that their floodgate effect is when digivolving, so you're able to it can kind of be a little bit rough sometimes if you want to just hard slam it, but it's nice in the sense of you don't need to rely on Hina to floodgate. You can buy yourself a little bit of time.
We training here and pick up the jamming Galga, bottom deck in a burst mode, which I felt a little scared about, but I'm I would value just the low level consistency to start. I'm sure I'll draw into one eventually. You do your 2 checks with the Volcanic. We do hit a boost, which is pretty good for me. And you drop a
I
Hina.
just drop my own memory setter Hina just to respond.
And here we're out of the blanket, you know, no longer being able to digi your moves. So we go ahead and push up. We play Scramble to go into the Huankun, which will let me spit out the little Syakomons. We'll gain a memory from the Buka effect. And then we'll go ahead and go Gaoga. Just wait. I popped the trainer to go into the Gaoga, gain the memory to go to 3. And then we're debating if we want to use some resources here, and I think we're just clarifying memory here. We just go Scramble again into a BT-13 Mirage to return the Hina back to hand. Since I bounced Hina back to hand, the Altern's effect of 13 will proc, so I can go into or play out a Thomas. So go ahead and play out another memory setter Thomas. I'm at 1. I've got jamming if I tuck, which I believe I do here, just to get some extra poke damage in. We suspend the Thomas to draw, and then we restand. And another nice thing too is like, well, if I hit an option card, the fact that I'm able to restand allows me to use my evade to avoid deletion, which is really nice with the BT-13 Mirage too.
Evade's really good right now. There's a lot of deletion in the game at the moment, so evade is very, very nice. And I'll just clarify memory again just to see where we're at.
Yeah.
It's been a while for me since I played against Mirage, so there's so much memory moving everywhere. I'm just trying to make sure I'm keeping up.
Yeah, so we go into a BT-13 Gaoga. I have him as a 1-of. I'm kind of debating if I want to sub him out for something else, just because like sometimes it's nice to cheat out the Thomases, because I am playing a lot more now since I'm using a lot of the BT-13 Mirage. So I'm like, you know, 1-of just to cheat a Thomas out is not bad. And the DP boost all turns is also not irrelevant as well. Like that can come up in certain situations, depending on the matchup too. So I'm like, you know, it's not too bad. We end up passing turn with a BO. And we say go.
Yeah, you do choke me just enough to put me in kind of a weird spot.
Yeah.
Or not choke me, but necessarily. But like, yeah, I just don't have enough memory. I don't. With the Hina getting bopped did lock me out of some plays that I could have done. But I don't think it would have been anything like astronomically changing.
So you go ahead, swing with Volcanic. You use one of your inheritables to go ahead and pop the BO.
Yeah, not inheritable. So Volcanitra has on playing when attacking. He pops lowest DP Digimon on opponent's side. So I do that. Do 2 checks. Get a little bit of damage in. I'm realizing how much I wish I would have went into a Jazzerich instead of the Lava Garita. Because I added a card to hand, you're able to play out a Thomas. And I end up just going into a Lava Garita and then suspending the Hina to go ahead and just pop a 6k or less. And then I gain a memory because there's nothing with 6k or less on the board. But it doesn't matter, you go to 3 anyways.
Yeah.
Being able to go into your level 5s for 2 can be really, really nice sometimes. It's just rough because you don't ever really like naturally generate enough memory to make it work all the time.
Right.
Like realistically, the only way like it'll really work is if I have like one of each Hina on the board, like to like guarantee it. And even that's not guaranteed if my opponent doesn't have a Digimon on the board.
So here I think I'm just looking for. I forget what I'm looking for here, but we go ahead and just start swinging with the Mirage. Tap Thomas to draw a card.
I imagine you were probably trying to find a burst mode, but realistically, I mean, you have so many resources set up at this point that like you're fine. Like you're good to just like.
Yeah, I think I was just like spooked in the sense of if I get rid of the big guy, then it's a problem. But I can choose to bounce with the burst mode. So I think I was just at first I think I played it out. You have to bounce something with burst mode, but you correct. I can choose exactly. Yeah. I think I got a little spooked about that effect at first, but I'm like, wait a second, like I think I'm okay, and I ended up just swinging for it.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns too when I left it out there. The 5, I was like, well, if he has burst mode, let's just bounce the stack, but I have to try and control board a little bit because if I leave the other body out there, I'm just in a rough spot, right? Like I can't just leave it there either.
For sure. But yeah, no, I mean, game 1. It felt good. I think having evade on BT-13 Mirage is nice because I think more than ever your win con is burst mode now. like the goal is to get into them, and you know, bot decking hand, especially with decks nowadays that draw a lot in the meta. Dragon Linkz, as we see, you had a pretty decent hand size. Sakuya, Megidra, cards like decks are drawing cards a lot now. Being able to just yeah.
Admittedly, my hand size is that size because of you. I did not draw that much. You just put so many cards in my hand. Because I realistically I did what? I searched twice off of a boost and then digivolved the rest of the way.
The Thomases were put in a lot of work.
Aside from that, it was just Thomases and Galgas and Gaomons and everything else. So, yeah, admittedly, against Megidra, you probably bulk up hand size enough to deck them out. I would not be surprised because my deck was getting pretty low sometimes.
Yeah. But you are climbing up. You go into your level 5 or level 4. Sorry, you have a Hina out on board. Then you go into, I forget the level 5's name.
Yeah, I go into the Jazzerich here. There's nothing on the board to this level 5 or lower, so I do gain a memory.
So here we go into BT-13 Mach-Gao. I'm like, you know what? We'll go ahead swing. I had a BT-11 Mirage in hand, so the idea was like swing with jamming and then hopefully bounce the guy. But I do hit a Trident Gaia, which is pretty good for you.
Is good for me.
And then I just am forced to pass over turn with a BT-4 Thomas.
Yeah, I was looking at consistency pieces for the deck, and I'm like, there's nothing else I can really run that makes it better. Because if I start running trainings, like that doesn't help me. I really wish that they were dual color. Them being one half being black and one half being red is just so.
It's tough.
It locks you out of so many potential like cards that you can use. So I try to stick a majority red base for stuff, and then I run Ukos just to try and speed up the deck a little bit in terms of like search and aggressiveness. And it's done okay so far. It's not crazy. The game's just so fast now in general that it often doesn't really make too much of a difference. I do hit a Thomas out of security there. So right now I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. I just drop a Hina.
Yeah.
Just kind of chill.
Go ahead and use the training to go into the 16 Gauga, which is just printing memory at this point. Pushes me back up to 5.
Yeah, these are free evos, just insane.
You go Mach-Gao to bounce the Uko. And then we go into the limited boy. We are able to bounce top card of security. We'll gain the memory back because you have 13 cards in hand at that point, I believe. But my issue here is that you do have a redirect.
Yeah.
And then I forget that Metallic will de-digivolve 4 when swinging.
Yeah.
So in theory, like, sure, I could go ahead and like go burst mode here because at that point I did have it. It's just if I bounce him, then you just spit out the volcanic and then I can go bye-bye.
Yeah, which I believe I did have a volcanic in
yeah, you had one in trash. So I'm like, well, Mirage is probably just gonna die. We'll just keep him live so that if you do mistakenly search for whatever reason, which I knew wasn't gonna happen, but like if you did, I just would have penalized it. But
yeah,
go ahead and swing. You de-digivolve back to the Gao.
Yeah, get a check in. At this point, I mean, I'm sitting at 4 memory, so I'm feeling pretty all right. I'm just trying to consider how I can best like control your board. I didn't really have too many crazy good options. I think I was missing a rookie.
Yeah.
Funny enough. Also, if I would have done this differently, I would have also been stuck anyways. But I just have to drop a Vorvomon for 5. Use the new Hina. So Hina is basically whenever a Rock Dragon or I believe Machine Dragon card is played, you can suspend her to have that Digimon digivolve into a card with Rock, Machine, Earth, or Sky Dragon trait with the cost reduced by 2. So I use that to go ahead and just warp up into a Lava Garita and then tap the other Hina to pop one of the 6k lower guys. The 2 Hinas and Tangent work really, really nicely together. And like they're strong cards. It's just when with BT-13 MirageGao, it was hard to
tough.
Keep enough on board. Yeah, because you don't wide board them very naturally, and I was not seeing them out of security too much. I do redirect that swing.
Yeah.
And I think here you were just trying to decide what to do because you knew you were like stuck at 0 memory, so you're just like, do I set up in the back or do I just play more resources out and just try and find more things to work off of raw?
Right, because the predicament there is that if you go into your volcanic, which at this point I'm like, yeah, I've drawn you enough cards where you probably have it. You lock me out from moving up or digivolving anything. So I'm like, well, sure, I'll just set up the resources like you said, because I think I'm cooked either way.
I do swing hit Madokes, and then I go ahead and Evo into Volcanic Draw. Nothing for me to pop, so I don't tap any of the Hinas. I just let its one digivolving effect to stop things with a 6k or less from moving or being played.
Yeah.
And I did have another Metallic Draw in hand as well, so even if the Volcanic Draw got cleared somehow, I was good to just play out stuff.
Yeah.
At this point, I go ahead and I push up Jazzy. Yeah, you just kind of.
I accept my fate. That's my old faithful move of, you know what? If you got it, you got it. I'm not gonna impede. I'm gonna go out with a bang.
You do see a rookie at least after the scramble.
But yeah, you take game 2.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I think goes to show, right, that like if you can get up into the top end and establish that like presence, like the top ends for Dragon Linkz are, like you said, very, very solid.
They're strong cards.
Yeah.
They're really strong cards. It's just a matter of getting there. Which is hard to do. And it's like, the line's not even honestly like that bad, I would say. More than anything, it's just like they're very fair.
Yeah.
And I would say this matchup probably isn't the best either for Dragon Linkz.
Yeah, evade,
the
tamer
Digivolve section of it's pretty nice, but I do have a good chunk of natural draw, and things can. I'm definitely like just a lot. I'm a lot more memory intensive, which giving you lots of memory is scary.
Yeah. But you start off with an Uko, which Uko will pick you up a Hina there. And I do not have a rookie, so I just opt to play a boost. And you go ahead and swing with the Uko, hit a BT-16 Gauga, draw for the Koro, and just continue to set up.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't want to leave it on the board because I was worried that if you got to a BT-11 Mirage and I pushed up at any point, it would just instantly lose me my turn.
Yeah.
So, just get a little bit of aggression out of it and start setting up a little bit more. Drop my own Mem Setter Hina in the hopes that she would stay on board.
So we go into the BT-16 Gauga off the training, so we net 1 memory, which is still really dumb.
People complain about Pada.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to do that from hand and not having to rely on RNG security. Crazy.
We go Huankun, gain the memory, spit up Madoki, and then we bounce the Hina back, play out of Thomas. So that was like huge efficiency on my end, which getting rid of your tamer, setting up a memory blocker, and getting my own memory setter out with that was huge.
Yeah, and here I instantly go to push up, and then I realize that I'm not going to get any memory off of the Madoki, so I'm like, wait, hold on, let me adjust, and you said you were fine with it, so I was just kind of like trying to see, and that Madoki was just like,
I think he put in a lot of work. Yeah.
I mean, the Mem boost being locked off for me is bad. The Jazzamon not being able to get the memory is really rough. I was just in a really, really tight spot. I could not do much. I mean, 2 memories not enough to do anything. Like, I go into a 5 and then it just gets bounced anyway, so it was like, it doesn't really matter. So I do just push up. I'm like, I need to get some card draw going in some way. And I did have an idea for a play, but I kind of misjudged it a little bit. So I do pitch a card. You are able to play Thomas off me, adding a card to hand. I go Vorvomon, which will let me go ahead and play out a Hina, which I play out the Mem Setter Hina again. And at this point, I'm just trying to decide how I want to do things. I had a really good idea in my head, but then I realized I didn't have I needed the EX3 Hina on board to completely do everything I wanted to do. Sure. I also did not have a Lava Garutamon in hand either, which was tough. So I just swing Lavorvo. Do hit a Scramble, which luckily you don't have anything in trash to play out. That really would have hurt. At this point, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was trying to get the extra card draw. That's why I swung.
Yeah.
I do just drop a Jezerichmon. He on play. I'll Digivolve the Mirage, and then I'll go ahead and use the Hina Evo for reducing cost by 2. So go for 3 into that guy. But then I'm realizing that my Digivolve effect I cannot use because I don't have stuff. And you're telling me to take it back, and I'm just like, no, I don't have any other play. That's literally all I can do.
Yeah.
At this point, by the way, Ben, my hand, I still had 4 other Hinas in hand and 3 other Metallictras.
Holy. That is tough.
That was my. You're seeing all my rookies and 4s and 5s that I had are all on the board right now.
So we go back into the 13 Mirage. We bounce the Hina again. She's traveling the world at this point. And here I'm like, okay. The redirect is a little bit annoying. I don't have a burst mode in hand, so I can't really go into those shenanigans here. So I think what I opt to do here, and I think I just end up trying to choke you to 1, and then just try to set up a wide board where even if you deal with one body, I still have enough to kind of push a little bit of aggression and put the pressure on. And I also wanted to split it up between some 3s and some 4s and some DP differences, so that if there are any shenanigans with like, oh, Pablo is DP or Pablo is level, like not my entire board is gone, you know?
Yeah, no, you played it really well. You did a good job. I go ahead and I'm just kind of looking through my hand. I don't really have too many other things I can do. Floodgate effect is gone. So I do just go ahead and just swing. I de-digivolve the stack at least, so that way it goes bye-bye. Because there was no level 3 in there, so it goes down to the egg and disappears.
It's yeeted.
And then at this point, I was just trying to decide how I wanted to pass turn. I was considering, I'm like, you know what, he has like the Thomas and everything else. Like I have to clear a body somehow, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I'm kind of just cooked. And I was trying to decide how I wanted to do things. I already had got the card draw off the Koro under the Lavorvo.
Right.
Analysis paralysis. I think I was deciding between evolving into a 5 and then just not doing anything, or dropping a Hina and then just risking it getting bounced again. My one hope was that because I cleared 2 BT-13 MirageGaos, I was like, maybe there's a chance you don't have it, but if you don't have that and you have something else, I'm still screwed anyways.
Right.
So at this point, I'm still thinking. Don't mind me. It just takes a minute. I do have to go ahead and swing here. Get the chip. He does die, which I opt to consider is probably a good thing for me. So now if you go into burst mode, you do have to bounce the Metallicra. And then I just drop the Hina and call it a day.
Yeah. So we go ahead and use the scramble here. We pick up a BT-16 Gauga because I'm like, well, that's essentially just a free Evo here from the Gaomon that's out on the field. Right. Nets me a draw, or nets me 2 draws essentially, and then we go ahead, crack the boost, use a scramble to go into the Huankun, which will play out a Gao. Once again, will draw us both a card, and we gain a memory from the Bukamon inheritable off of the Bio. And then we go into a BT-13 Mirage once again. And here it's like, okay. You know, like I think can go ahead and start swinging. Even if you redirect here, I can go ahead and evade to avoid deletion.
Yeah, which I go ahead and I just do it right away because I'm like, you know what? There's no point in waiting. Like you have so many unsuspends that if I don't do it now, even if you go to burst mode and bounce me, I'm not gonna pop it. You have too many low DP bodies on the board, so I was kind of just cooked. I accepted my fate at this point. I knew there wasn't much that could really happen. My only hope was that there was a Trident guy on security, and I had 2 in my hand. So I was not very hopeful by any means. You go ahead, you go burst mode, you do bounce me. I am able to play out a Volcanic from trash, which just pops the Bio. And then, yeah, at this point, it's kind of just
Mirage goes for Mirage, yeah.
Yep, swing. I take my hand and I shuffle it on the off chance that maybe it could matter if for some reason I don't die. I just count cards till I have 8, and then I just put everything else at the bottom.
Sure.
Yep, you had another guy. Go ahead, swing, tap Thomas, make me draw 1, bottom deck it, and then do a check. Swing again, do another check, and then you go ahead and just you had Thomas. You could drop down suspend. You had Madoki. You were good. So it was a tough last game. I was very kind of stuck in a weird spot, and if you get BT-13 Mirage out fast enough when I only have 1 Hina on board, I'm just working from a deficit the whole game, and it's really hard to come back from that point.
Right. And no, yeah, I mean, I think also too, like you highlighted, it is a little bit of a tougher matchup for you in general. BT-13 Mirage just kind of accentuates it to a degree. But yeah, I mean, I think for me, it felt good playing Mirage again.
I can tell.
I missed my boy. I feel alive again.
For me, it felt about the same with playing Dragon Linkz as I have in the past. Sometimes the deck pops off and does good. Other times it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Mirage is just in a tough spot. You kind of have to play it like OTK Shine. I feel like you have to just set up all your tamers. I think you definitely have to rely on tamers again, as opposed to where you're running like maybe one Thomas BT4 and like 2 of the draw Thomas or vice versa. I think you definitely have to bulk your tamer count up now just because you need to rely on BT13 Mirage. But yeah, no, hopefully you guys enjoy this matchup. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like we said, hopefully we see you guys on the Discord. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And hopefully we catch you on that next video. Bye-bye.